Okiru.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the next Okiru episode. Today we are joined by one of our brothers, Kuya Wes Styles. What's going on, brother?
All good, man. All good. Thanks for
Man is
inviting me, guys. Thanks, Jasper. Thanks, Gerald, for inviting me for this catch-up interview.
That's it, man. How you been throughout lockdowns, man?
Yeah, I've been good. I've been doing heaps of stuff, which is great. Focusing at the moment with church projects at the moment, and secondary is my personal project, which is music streaming and content making. Yeah, still in progress. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, one of the things that I know with you, Wes, is that you have a lot of different passions. So
Yes.
you have the hairdressing, musician, actor, model.
Actor, I don't know about. I don't know about acting though, but yeah.
He just looks like an actor.
Oh. Yeah.
You have so many of these different passions. What's one of your current personal projects that you're working on at the moment?
All right. So one of my passions now is about personal development. So I started listening to audiobooks that made me write my own book.
Ooh.
So
Juicy
it's about reaching your goals, how to have the right mindset for the right goal you wanna achieve in life.
Ooh, I want to get into that. Let's get into that.
Wait,
That's
Wes, man,
juicy,
so
man.
many-
Yo.
Yes,
You
yes,
always
yes.
surprise me with so
Yeah,
many
so
surprises.
that's one of the content or projects that I'm focusing on while doing all of these endeavors.
Amazing stuff. All right, before we get back into that, how are you able to do everything that you're trying to achieve?
For me, the more you do, do more, you get more.
Right.
It's like if you give
Interesting.
more, you earn more.
Mm.
And I thought my time was limited. That's why I always seclude myself. I always reserve myself, always saying no to invitations and opportunities because I thought my time was already full for myself. And once you start thinking about others and once you start giving to others, guess what? The more you will have for yourself and more time for yourself.
I like that. It's like no is such a powerful word, right? It's like when we say no, what are we saying yes to? And then when we say yes, what are we saying no to? I like that.
Yeah. So to answer your question, how I manage my time, I just give more to others, more time to others that I get more time for myself. Therefore, I would know what time should I get, for example, for today or for this week. And you just keep on saying yes. Once you keep on saying yes, you get more time for yourself. Therefore, you would know how to manage your time.
Can you elaborate that?
I've learned this technique from one of the authors I've been listening to. I think I got this method from Richard Bouchard.
Brendan Bouchard?
Brendan?
Richard?
Not sure. Brendan. I think Brendan Bouchard. Yes. I think it's the life vision or just a whiteboard, and then you put down all your tasks in life. So we have church, we have our clarity, our goals in life, and then we have family, we have work, we have YouTube, we have content making, we have barbering, we have music, we have mentoring, we have all of these tasks that we do in our lives. And then it's really important to write it down, because if you don't write it down, perfect example, you're gonna miss out, bro. Like I forgot about our 8 o'clock appointment because I forgot to write it down. Anyway,
Oh no.
yes, so it's really important to write it down because once you write it down, you will see it, and then it will instill in your mind. Then once you put in your mind, that's what you speak about, and once you speak about things, that's what your body reacts. Your body just follow.
Right.
So that's how I manage my time, is to put it on my whiteboard. And I just copied this from most of successful people. Always have their whiteboard, planning their day or week or even hours. And since I started copying that, applying it to my life, I'm more organized now. In terms of attending to all my tasks.
How are you able to prioritize what tasks need to be done?
So prioritizing, you would know what to prioritize when you see it on the actual board. That's why it's really important to write it down, because you would see the overview of your task and then what to prioritize or what not. And from there, you can play around with it. There's no right and wrong.
Right.
It's just that sometimes there's circumstances that you have to prioritize this rather than doing this. But on your priority list, it's on the top. But because of certain circumstances, you just have to like change it. And if you have that overview, if it's written down on the board, then it's just easy to play around with it. And then at the end of the day, you still win because you're able to still attend all those tasks.
Interesting. Well, I do like the writing down stuff and seeing on the board when you can actually, it's kind of like in a tangible space as opposed to being in your mind. How do you really know what to prioritize? Do you have a certain value system that you have? You know, like you said, in case there's circumstances that happen, what if there's two really important things that happen at the same time? How are you going to make that decision? Do you have a value system, like based on my values, based on where I want to go?
Yes.
I feel like this is going to be more important, right?
So it's thank you for that wonderful question. So it's like that saying that the more closer to the ground is more like healthy or more potent. So in terms of food, that's why people use that basis or grounds and use that as their guidelines or template. So if I apply that to life, how to prioritize my life is I use ground, I convert it into like God. So God first, and then from that basis, it just like flows, bro. So God, and then clarity, then family, then work, and then miscellaneous. So family, that's / friends and people. And then work, and then miscellaneous. So miscellaneous, like at the moment I'm learning how to skate, like skateboarding, bro.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm actually learning how to kick flick.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can actually do gliding now. Like I have full control now, like left and right. Look at me, like and the gliding. Yeah. So that's how I do my template in life, like guidelines.
Yeah.
So I won't get lost.
It's interesting. You have you have so many things now. You're doing. You want to do skateboarding now.
Yeah.
So where does that desire to have so many of these things in your life? So
since I started accepting invitations, Because I used to have a habit of refusing invitations because my ego was too high that I was like, nah, like I can't spend time to others because it's gonna be a waste of time. Instead of using that time to others, I'll just use that to, improve myself, do my project with myself, doing it all by myself. That was my mentality before. It's in a way I was too selfish, but yet naive. Now I include people to my goals, to my life, in my life. That's my clarity, but my clarity is to be a valuable servant to people. Because it's already given that we're all servants of God. That's why we have that instinct of serving people because, in the first place, we serve God,
Yeah.
So I just found it out when I started listening to audiobooks. And that's how I started not listening to myself anymore, but I always listen to others now, other people, more like wiser people, more experienced people. When I first started, it's all about me. Like, nah, I don't need the help. I'll be successful without their help, without the knowledge and stuff. That's how I believed in myself before.
Interesting.
That's how to answer your question, Gerald. That's why I'm open to all the stuff in this world. And if you don't have a basis, then it's just easy for you to get lost, to be lost, because you don't have a path and you don't have like a basis where when every time you turn around and look behind you, you don't have a trail. Because trail is very important to get to your destination. Yeah. And that's human nature. Even animals do that. In order for them to get to their destination, they always put a trail behind them. So once they get lost, they know how to get back.
Interesting. I like that. That's interesting.
Yes.
So how did you find that path for yourself?
First, experience. And then second is knowledge. Awareness that turned into knowledge. So personal experience. That's why I use that path because our beliefs, man. Like we believe in God, we believe in serving God. And then at one point in my life, I got expelled. So I got expelled from the church, and that made me see things not only inside the church, but outside the church. And since that happened, gave me an awareness in everything. And because of that, it turned into knowledge. I seek more, I research more, and then now I appreciate more. And now I got back, then all the duties that I was doing before, now, now I know the value of it. Now I know the beauty of it, the system that we have is like, whoa, like it's really intelligent, But before, because of I had no experience before, I wasn't aware, I didn't have the knowledge before. I was just doing it, because of routine, because of that's what our parents told us to do. So that's our basis before. That's why we're doing one task or duties. But once you gain that experience, it will change your perspective. So because of all of that, what I've said, experience, perspective, awareness, and knowledge. That's how I told myself that this is my path, this is my basis, this is my guidelines, and you just have to keep on remind yourself. So the more you remind yourself, the more you have the right to explore, because you can't explore if you don't know how to remind yourself.
Dropping these quotes.
Dropping these nuggets, man. Interesting. So you say experience leads to knowledge, or experience leads to self-awareness, then to knowledge. Is that correct?
Oh, there's no right and wrong. There's no right sequence.
But yeah, right, yeah.
But I'm just in my experience, to answer Gerald's question, what made me use these guidelines or pattern? It just happened to me, man. Because it happened to me, then I just became aware of it. Sometimes to other people, it's a different scenario. It's a different story. Sometimes they gain the awareness first, or maybe they gain the knowledge first. Then after that experience. So it depends with their situation in life. But in my life, that's what happened to me. Before I was enlightened, I had to experience it first. But unfortunately, my experience was the bad experience. So that's what happened to me. I experienced the bad that made me aware of, well, I need to seek more. So turn into knowledge, seeking knowledge. And then after you have that knowledge, you go back and then you question like, oh yeah, no wonder why we do this, we do that. And then if we're doing this and we do that and we know that it actually works, it's effective, why not apply it in life? No wonder why all this like authors talking about this, and all they talk about in their books is actually derived from the Bible. So if that's the formula, then go straight to the source. Like I said, like the closer to the ground means it's more healthier, in terms of food. It's more fresh. It's more no chemical involved and stuff because it's more near to the ground. So all the knowledge that we consume or we get, from people of this world, same thing. They got it from mostly, like all of it. But if you come to think of it, technically, it's all from the Bible. Power of breakdown, law of attraction, manifestation, affirmation, meditation. Meditation in the Bible, it's called prayer. And for me, because I believe in God, then that's my ground.
So what are some common themes that you have found in these books that you've read, apart stuff that is not from the Bible though? Is there any other common themes?
Well, so far, all maybe just like the technicalities, bro, the techniques. Like, for example, crunching time, how to maximize your 1 minute. You can't really see that in the Bible. It's just that it's human experience, and then they share it to the people, how they do it. But time is actually in the Bible. You know what I mean? So maybe like the techniques, because normally techniques is experience, knowledge turned into experience, and to cut it short, it is equals to technique. If you want to make things or tasks quicker, more efficient, or more easier, then it's called technique. Yeah. So I think that's the only thing that I don't see it from the Bible is the human techniques.
So a lot of it was coming from, for you, when you had the realization, it was from experience. Do you think we can ultimately learn if it's not a bad experience? Can you learn from, is there such thing as a learning from a good experience?
Good experience. Well, learning in general is learning, and experience in general is experience. There's good and bad. In learning as well, there's good and bad. There's no right and wrong in terms of having an experience, bro, and learning as well. There's no good and bad. But there's prevention. If you start learning the good, you're preventing yourself from experiencing the bad. But then again, growth is limited. That's when growth kicks in and comes in. You can't really grow just with one experience, which is good. You also have to experience the bad. So your spectrum is broader, and it's more than just one, which is good, or vice versa, which is bad.
Are we allowed to, I know you're still making your book. Is that something you're willing to talk about? Or is that under wraps, Ed?
Well, it's not, well, I can talk about my book, the overview of my book. That's why I want to write it down, or I want to write my own book, is just to pay it forward, or what I've learned or learning. I'm still learning, but and because it's closer to me, it's related to me, but because like Gerald said, I've been doing lots of stuff, changing hats, here and there, and I'm still learning more. I'm still accepting more. So because of my situation, I decided to start writing a book about that, about how to deal with different tasks, how to prioritize different tasks, or even passion. How would you know if your passion is your real passion, or maybe this is just a phase of your life? How to know a real passion or a real burning desire? So in that book, I'll just share my knowledge and my experience.
Right. What's going to differentiate your book to the thousands and millions of books that are, regarding self-help and, finding your purpose and finding your passion, desires, and tasks management? What's going to be the difference?
The difference will be myself, the identity of my being. And in every book, but every authors have their different identity. So we might speak about one thing, which is like goals, perspective, and stuff, all the same, but the only difference will be our own stories, our own experiences, our own identities. But yeah, we might be in the same column of self-help book.
For sure.
Yeah, it's definitely the different stories that you bring to the table that make the difference.
Yes.
So I was going to ask, so I don't know if you can divulge a little bit more on finding your passion and knowing the difference between what is passion and what is just a phase.
Yes. So I've learned this from Brendan Richard or Richard.
Brendan Richard.
Brendan, yes, that's it. So he mentioned in his book about clarity. So clarity is once you answer the two greatest question in life, which is who do you want to become and what are the things that makes you feel fulfilled. Even though you're not getting paid, you're still gonna wake up early in the morning, crashing it, smashing it, still gonna do this, And I've realized, no wonder why I'm doing all of this stuff. Like, barbering, event organizing, music and stuff. It's always involved with people. So I thought at first I was a people pleaser. So every time I please people, I feel good. But then again, I also like helping, but it makes me feel good, especially when I help someone to like make them look good, help them to find out answers. So every time I contribute to their lives, to their value, then I feel good. Then I realize that, I want to become. Before I answered my first question, which is who I want to become, I answered my second question first. So second question is, I want to help others. I want to serve them. And makes me feel fulfilled. That made me answer my first question. First question is, who do you want to become? Then I came up with the answer, I want to become a valuable person or a valuable servant. Valuable means you should have knowledge and you still willing to learn to become valuable. Because people, or in this society, but in this world, companies put the valuable person always on top because they know better. And value means price. That's why value means price. That's why they get paid more because they know better. They contribute more to the company and stuff. But with me, I want to become a valuable person, so I can help more. I can serve more because I have more knowledge to offer to share. So, I've answered the two questions of life. You're wise, knowing you're wise, and this is my two whys. That's why I'm doing all of the stuff I'm doing. It's all about serving people.
How are you gonna help and serve people?
So, good question. I thought to help people, to help other people, you should be rich, lots of money, so you can give it away and help others, help the poor and stuff. And I was wrong. Helping is actually just doing the task, just doing the action. Doing the action of helping. And to offer help, there's heaps of ways to give help others. You can help give time, your experience, knowledge, opinion, vision. Help them improve ideas. Heaps of ways. And since I realized that, hang on, I don't need to become rich before I able to help others. I can start now. And the power of now? So that's how I started. Since I realized that I was able to help without money, I immediately started. So how I help is I help people whatever they need. Apart from money, because I'm broke, I give them my time. I give them my words. Whatever I learn, I just share. And the good thing with my help is the help is already there, out there. I'm just gathering it and then give it to them.
Interesting. How do you know what to give to people, though? You know, knowledge can be one thing, but wisdom is another thing too. They're not the same thing.
They're not. So how would I know what to give them? Well, whatever they need. But like you said, knowledge and wisdom. Sorry. What's the other one you mentioned?
Yeah, knowledge and wisdom are not the same thing.
Yes, they're not. Yeah. They're not, because you can be knowledgeable, but then again, you don't have the experience. Therefore, wisdom is not there. Because the formula of wisdom is knowledge plus experience. And application is equals to wisdom. So you would know if what to give them. What if someone asks for a help and then, oh, bro, can you help me like punch this guy's face? You know what I mean? But because of your wisdom, you wouldn't do that. I'm just exaggerating and just trying to tell a point. You would know what to give them.
How do we really know what we really know?
So how would you know what we really know? So, there's called gut feeling, they call it. But really technically or scientifically, it's not really gut feeling, bro. It's part of our brain as well. So apparently, according to Jim Quick, we have this sensation in our tummy. And surprisingly, it's actually connected to our brain as well. That's why there's situations that when we are in danger, that kicks in. Like, oh, I have a gut feeling that, this guy is, dangerous. He might stab me and stuff. And that makes your decision making as well. It contributes to our decision making as well. And if we apply that to helping, we have our gut feeling as well. We rely on that too. That's human nature. It's just easy to accept because of this breakdown of scientific technicalities. But really, before, even like in the caveman era, we already got this instinct of gut feeling, and it's part of their decision making. So to answer your question, how to know, you would feel it, like technically in your gut, in your tummy. Then you would know like if it's safe or not to help, and what to help or to know what to do. And plus you apply the 5 scientific rule. And then you apply your experience, your knowledge, your wisdom, and then you will create your own formula to attend to that problem or to that person, to give help to.
Right. What about that, that gut feeling when you're about to speak on stage or something and you have that thing in your stomach, you're like, oh
yeah, so
really
that's called
fearful.
Butterfly. It's called nervousness.
Nervousness. So if you're listening to that, wouldn't that tell you not to go on stage and face that fear?
So it's like feeling and feeling over mind. So you feel like you don't want to get up to stage, but in your head, I have to do this so I can make a difference, so I can share knowledge. You just have to know how to control both. If you listen to your feelings too much, it's dangerous. If you listen to your mind too much, it's also dangerous. Having that balance, though, and control makes you powerful. So if you know your whys again, no matter how much you feel because you know you're wise, you still do it. And that's how you play around with yourself to trick yourself. That's why they say mind over matter. Sometimes you can't do it anymore because you're so tired, but because your mind is so strong that your body just follows. Because you know you're wise. Oh, if I don't do this, I won't look good tomorrow because I have a Instagram photo. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just knowing your wise and being aware of, feelings and emotions, sensations. The difference between feelings and sensations and emotions.
What is the difference?
You can you can use it. You can type it on Google.
Well, how were you able yourself with your experiences? How were you able to get control and find that balance for you? Maybe someone might find benefit through, your teaching, through what you've learned.
It's about practicing, bro. Practicing emotions, man. Practicing feelings. If you don't know how to practice, then you can always ask first. So you have to have the care first. If your care is okay, like Wesley, I need to control my emotions. I want to know different emotions or different feelings. I already got this off, like happy and laughing. Oh, I already know that. But there are some emotions or feelings that we haven't really worked on yet. For example, like Gerald's example, like, that feeling in the gut when you're about to go on stage. How many times we experience that in a year? And how will you able to practice that if you rarely experience that? So when I say practice, if you're lacking on something, like we're talking about emotion, if you're lacking of that gut feeling emotion, then in order to practice it, always get that emotion, always get that feeling. Then you can able to practice it, get to know it better, get to know how to control it better, get to know how to react more effectively every time it kicks in.
So it's about moving towards those experiences as opposed to running away from them.
Yes, dealing with it and confronting. Yes, because that's the human nature. We're scared of confronting things. We're always think the worst case scenario all the time. And rejections, all those negative thoughts and emotions. We always think of that first before the positive outcomes and stuff.
Right. So you read a lot of books. What book are you reading at the moment?
Because I stopped working for a bit because of lockdown. Because I always listen audiobooks during when I'm driving to work. That's why I pick my shifts from the wop-wops, bro, like Peninsula and stuff. So I can drive longer, so I can listen and finish my audiobooks. So the last book it wasn't a book, but it's just about Andrew Carnegie. I was just researching about him on YouTube, like short videos about him and then his philosophies. Because what I'm trying to do now is I'm backtracking all the trails, all these successful people or authors. So from Bob Proctor, his upline is, or his influence or idol is Andrew Carnegie. So now I'm researching about him before I start listening to his book.
Yeah. What book was it he wrote? Was it Magic of Thinking Big? Or is that someone else?
Hang on. Is it Andrew or Dale?
I think it's Dale Carnegie.
Yeah, Dale. It's How to Win
Friends and Influence
and
People.
Influence People. Yes, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good book.
What made you want to go on that journey of self-improvement for yourself?
It's funny because it's all started with money, bro. It's all started with money. Because I was like, oh yeah, I wanna help people, so I wanna become rich. So I started with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So from there, once you finish a book, because like I finished it not by reading, by listening to audiobook. And I listen most of my audiobooks from YouTube because it's free. And then right after I finished that book, on the right-hand side, there's videos, recommended videos or related. And then I started finishing FU Money. And then after that, there's suggested video. It's called Gym Quick, Learn How to Learn. From there, there's another suggested video. It's what's that? Like High Performance Habit. And then since then, I was like, oh wow, this is new. It's all about self-improvement and stuff. And then after that, it just went on and on, man. And then I started listening to like different authors now about self-improvement. And John Maxwell, he taught me that if you want to become successful, well, you have to love the people. And I was like, oh, really? You should give more to people, and then people will make you successful. I was like, wow, really? I didn't know that. I thought to become successful, it's been, in your hard works and stuff, your knowledge and stuff, money. And then that really changed my perspective in whole success or successful things, how to become successful. And that's what I practice now. Or I'm not even practicing anymore. It became my lifestyle now. So I include people now in my life and to my projects or to my goals. And to look back, when I first started music, I was doing everything by myself. And compare it now, I include people. I ask people. I rely on people now. I give to people. My success, compare from before, man, it's night and day.
How would you describe that difference, apart from just night and day? Like, what has been some of the biggest changes that you've noticed in yourself from your previous self and to where you are now?
I always have this courage to do new things. But the difference between before and now is I have more. I'm doing more. I have the courage to do more because of knowledge. So I don't only have courage, but I have the confidence because it's backed up by knowledge. I have a system now. I have a structure of how I do things and execute things. Unlike before, it's all about like, oh, I feel like I feel of doing this. If I do this, I might get this and stuff. So it's only based from ideas. And it's not backed up by knowledge. It's all about the feels, the vibe of doing it, the want of doing it, but really didn't know the whys.
Yeah.
Kuya Wes, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot in Filipino culture, you see a lot of people go into the creative arts. Yes. So there's a lot of people that do, they're either dancing, singing. There's a lot of that. I don't know, like with our friends, you know, that they have this creative type of thing with them. Why do you think that is the case with our culture?
Oh yeah, because if you know the history of Philippines, bro, we have this colonial mentality because like heaps of countries invaded Philippines, and we were conquered by this, you know, great countries before, and that's one of our scapegoat. Entertainment, gossiping, singing, dancing, feast, festivals. That's our scapegoat because we were imprisoned before by these foreigners or other countries. That's why we have that mentality of like, you know, being in a creative side, but not really being in a creative side. It's the act of escaping from reality. That's why people always tends to sing when they're down. You know, they drink and then they sing or they dance because that's their scapegoat. And because they keep on doing that, they became, you know, like better to it, singing, dancing, and it's just instilled in our blood. But really, because of our situation before and what we have experienced from before, it became our culture to sing and to dance, all creative stuff.
So it's that past, that trauma that they experienced back in the day with whole, you know, the invasions, and we became that almost that not to think about the situation. We got to entertain ourselves in another way. Oh, that's interesting. That
generational trauma.
And in general, but all artists who's really good in their crafts, they're the ones who experience the hardships, and that's their mindset to escape from it, to become better, you know, or escape from, for example, poverty. I have to make this happen and stuff. If not, then I'll be always, you know, be living on a couch. Or, you know what I mean? That's their drive to do more, to excel more. And for those people or artists or creative person or people who has all the luxury in life and being comfortable, the drive is not as high as the one who's experiencing the challenges in life.
That's interesting. We kind of touched on that subject last week with one of our friends, Josh. I think Gerald asked this question: do you think there's any like good artists or creators out there who hasn't gone through pain and suffering or any type of struggle? Well,
most artists who's on top there, they're the ones who experience the hardships, man. Like that's why they're on top, man. Because they had nothing, man. And it's good and bad, bro. Bad because they're experiencing bad experiences and stuff. You know? They couldn't eat and stuff. But good because that's their tool for them to have that burning desire more. Otherwise, it's survival, man. Like they have to make it, man. Otherwise, you know, they'll be dead.
Yeah.
They only have two options to do more or not. But for those who's not experiencing those, you know, like hardships and stuff, they always have options, bro. And that makes them not to pursue it more, not to have that burning desire because they have options, bro. They're comfortable. If they didn't make it, then I'll just quit. I have another stuff anyway to do. Therefore, the success is limited, bro. That's why they never be on top because your attitude to it. It's different. Perspective is different.
It's kind of like this duality. Like there's always some sort of trade-off, right? If you're living a tough life or struggling, you can create some of the best art. But, if you're living this really good life, you might not have the same drive as someone who is going through those struggles.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, though? Do you think it's an environmental thing? Is it a societal thing? Because I've met some people who are successful, have a lot of options, but are driven. Why do you think is that?
I think it's human instinct, bro. Human instinct, and they are aware of it. There are some people who's not aware of their human instinct, and then they just follow whatever people tell them or whatever they see on social medias and stuff, internet, that they're lost in their own instinct. And there are some people who's feeling it, instinct is kicking in, and because they're aware of it, they just follow it.
Where's with the answers, man?
Did you ever have, any pushback, being a creative and being in that Filipino culture? Did you ever have any, like a pressure or struggle to do something else?
I experienced that when I was shifting from pop rock, OPM, to urban. Pressure it's not really pressure. It's more about attachment, bro. I was scared because I was too attached from what I was doing before. But then again, with the help of audiobooks, it helped me embrace that change. So it wasn't pressure anymore, bro. Because pressure is when you put more load to a task, then you feel pressured there. When you put more weight, when you lift, then that's pressure. But if you have the knowledge to divide it and make the task or lift or whatever easier, then it won't be it's not pressuring you anymore. So same thing with what happened to me from shifting from pop rock to urban music, because I know my whys, then it became less pressuring to do it.
What was
but
it?
In general, but like I don't feel pressured anymore, man. When I was younger, yes, I was pressured just by cleaning the house, doing my own laundry because of my mom pressuring me, like, "Hey Wesley, ano ba?" I'll be like, I was so pressured. Hell. But you know what? When you getting older, you learn more, you apply more, you practice more. It becomes your lifestyle. Therefore, when new things, you encounter new things, it's not as pressuring as before because of that experience, knowledge, and wisdom. You actually celebrate. You actually like welcome it with all your heart, with excitement. And if that's your attitude in life, man, far out, you will start learning how to kick flick. You know what? Like I go to skate parks, bro. Like all the kids I play with, man. Like I skate with people. Like, what's up? I think I'm the. I saw another dude who's on his 30s as well, man. Because he's a pro, bro. But for someone like me, 37 years old, just starting how to learn how to skate, it's so funny, man. So funny. But like I said, change. I started embracing changes. And changes, if you don't live with changes, it means you're not growing. In order for you to grow, you need to love changes.
I wanted to go back to when you were talking about the pressure that you were feeling from moving from alternative punk, was it? Pop rock to urban.
Yeah.
What type of pressure were you actually talking about? Was it more you have to fit into this certain mold that
heaps, man.
what
Heaps.
was it?
So first, I've invested how many years building all my original songs from pop rock, OPM.
Mm-mm.
And then if I change to West Styles or urban music, I'm gonna get rid of all of that hard work, years of work, you know, and then attachment to it, pressure of, you know, rebranding myself, recalibrating my mindset, another way of performing technique. I'm not an R&B singer, bro. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
I'm not a singer, but pressure of, you know, singing like that, like in an urban style. So heaps of pressure, bro. Technicalities and from within as well, because I couldn't accept that. I need to change. Then again, I realized in order for me to grow, I have to change. And if I wanna keep on going, then I have to accept that I have to change. Otherwise, I'll be stuck and then miss out the trend. And therefore, what's the whole point of doing this?
Yeah, change is definitely important. Like, it's not something we can fear, because I'm reading a book now called Think Again, and it's about reframing. I forgot his name. Let me check real quick. Give me 1 sec.
I'll write it down.
Think Again by Adam Grant.
Hang on.
So
yeah, keep going.
Telling this story about the guy who created BlackBerry.
Okay.
And like, no one really knows who this guy is. I forgot his name, but pretty much he had that same mindset of, with Apple creating the first iPhone, in order for them to compete with them, they had to do, you know, they want to create something like a phone similar to theirs, you know, touching glass, and a computer inside that phone. But he wanted his philosophy for his brand. Their brand was, you know, they want to have the keyboard still. They want to focus on emails, work, and nothing to do with entertainment, music, or anything like that. And what eventually happened, you know, as we know now, BlackBerry is gone, or not as popular as it was before. And their stock price like plummeted a whole lot. And he had his engineers and people like trying to convince him to create something to compete with Apple's iPhone. And because he was so ingrained with his mentality of things. And this guy's a smart guy. Like, ever since he was young, he had like so many engineering awards, created so many things, so many innovations. But because he was so married to this idea of this philosophy, that was eventually was a downfall for their brand. You know, so one thing like I'm really learning and coming to grips with is, we can't be married to our thoughts. We can't be married to our ideologies. We have to allow things to be flexible in a way that we can still be taught, but always remembering our whys, right? And our values. But without us being able to change and allowing people to input in our lives, it will eventually be our downfall, as that experience with the guy from BlackBerry.
Yes, I agree, man.
So it's like you go transitioning to that punk rock into R&B space now, you know?
At the end of the day, I'll be the same artist and anyway, that who just wants to express art. And because of that aspect, I became aware of it. And then I just have to keep on reminding why I'm doing this. It's not really for me anymore. Because before it was for myself. Nah, I don't care if people listen to it. You know, as long that I'm able to, you know, express what I want to express and stuff. But then again, if you don't think about the people, then you will not be successful. So in this industry, but if you want to become successful, you have to think others. And it's part of my clarity anyway, to serve people. So now I create for others. I don't create for myself anymore. And it works. It works, bro. People, I get like a tad number up because people listen to it now. Because when I did my music before, it was only me that I used to please. Don't care about others if they're gonna like my music or not. As long that I express myself, then it's okay. But then again, it didn't go anywhere because of that mentality and mindset.
Interesting. Yeah, there's this saying like we have to be selfish so that we can become selfless. And that's kind of like that route you went through, that journey you where I had that selfish mindset, but then eventually you understood,
yes,
I need to be selfless so that I can, really get that success, really, connect and resonate with people, because we all need people in our lives, right? Like,
true.
And anything with our brand, we need people for us to succeed, right? You need people to listen to your music.
Yes.
Without people, we got nothing. It's only pleasing
Yes.
our own. I'm not gonna say the word. We're only pleasing our own desires.
Yeah, we'll just be wearing our own shirts and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
Mm.
Oh man, I had a question. But yeah, like you sound like you've experienced a lot, man. Have you experienced any mental struggles, difficulties that it was hard for you to get past things?
Oh yes. I wasn't aware that I was undergoing depression and anxiety, bro, for 5 years. And I just became aware of it and I started accepting it when a friend from elementary days posted on Facebook about depression and anxiety. Before, when I see articles about depression and anxiety or mental health in general, I have no interest, man. I'll just keep on scrolling. But that day, surprisingly, I was really intrigued. I was really interested. And I started clicking that link and started reading about it. And I was surprised that all the symptoms, man, I was like, damn, this is what I'm experiencing at the moment. And before I was in denial, man. I couldn't accept it because I was like, oh yeah, we're gracious, bro. We're children of God. Like we don't experience this stuff, we're strong, we are blessed. We are guided. Then again, you're only human. So I checked all the symptoms. I was like, damn, I'm really depressed because I'm experiencing all of the symptoms. And then I started accepting it that, yes, I have depression and mild anxiety. And then I started researching about it. And I started fighting, combating and making myself better. And my first fight was to change all the light bulbs. It's funny, man. Like it's like I talk to other people too. They ask me like, how did you how did you deal with it? You first learned that you had depression. I was like, I changed all the light bulbs because I learned that if you change your light bulbs, your mood will change too. And then I started changing my environment. I started to clean. Best example, when you're enlightened, the first thing you're gonna start changing is your environment. The best example is limitless. You know that scene when he first took the pill?
I've never watched it.
I'll watch it. Limitless, the movie, not the series.
Mm.
Because there's like this medical drug where it actually allows you to use 100% of your brain, and you become successful in life and stuff. So that's the concept of the movie. So there's a scene there. Sorry for spoiling it. But there's a scene there where he took the pill, and first thing he did was to clean the apartment because he's becoming a loser in life. And then since then he became organized and stuff, and then things just flows. So that's what I did too. I changed the light bulbs. After that, I feel good. And then I started cleaning the house. I feel better. And then I started changing this. I felt even more better. I chucking all of the clutter in the room, the house, garage, clean everything. And then I feel good. I feel nice. I feel like powerful because just to accomplish that change, I realized that, I can do this. I apply this to life, It starts with the small and then turns into dealing with the bigs.
Of course. What would you say to someone who is going through the anxiety, depression, etc., but, they're not willing to clean the environment, or if they do, they feel like nothing's changing? What would you tell them?
You have to stop listening to yourself and start listening to others. Stop listening to yourself, because if you listen to yourself, you'll be like, oh, man, I don't want to do this. Oh, man, you know that voice in your head. Stop listening to that. It will not give you good. If you want to learn, stop listening to yourself, start listening to others, and you will learn and you will grow. Listening without applying or without application is pointless. It's like having a faith and not doing the works. It's nonsense. See, from that term or phrase, it's derived from the Bible. That's why that's my grounds. So going back, if you listen and if you don't apply, then it's pointless. So if you really want to change, you should accept. You have to accept that you're under depression and you have undergoing anxiety. Because once you accept that you are undergoing those two, then the next thing you want to ask is, do I want to change? Do I want to suffer still? Or do I want to get rid of this condition? Then once you know the answer, then work on it. Work towards to it. So whatever you do now, because whatever you put in your head goes to your tongue, you speak it, and then whatever you speak, body will follow. And once body will follow, then you create results. So once you ask all of those questions, you're wise, then you'll get results. And never listen to yourself in terms of, because when we are undergoing anxiety and depression, we always talk to ourselves. I don't feel it. I don't want to do this. Wesley, I know there's like party. Oh, come. Do I really have to? That's the main question. Do I really have to go and mingle with people? So don't listen to yourself. Listen to others because they know better, because they've been there. And of course, you're gonna listen to people who's credible. People who already underwent anxiety and depression, so they can give you their experiences, share their knowledge, techniques, how to combat depression and anxiety.
Yeah. I think, yeah, listening to others is a good one. Like you just mentioned, you have to listen to the credible people, the right people. Because one thing dangerous with that is oftentimes when we're depressed or in anxiety states, we often go to people who are experiencing the same things, right? We go towards the things that we're comfortable with. And oftentimes those people we're comfortable with are the people who are experiencing the same things.
Yes.
That's where it can get dangerous too, because then you're constantly in that environment. And how do you really know what you're receiving is going to help you?
Yes.
I think that voice in your head, that is good, the overthinker. But eventually the voice in the head is something you have to listen to as well. I think the voice in our head is important, because the relationship with ourselves is kind of more important than the relationship we have with others. Because if your relationship with yourself isn't healthy, then it's going to be the same with the people you're around. We can't expect that my own unhealthy relationship is going to be corrected by having a healthy relationship with someone else. You know, that's why they say it's kind of like, I was mentioning this to Gerald, the other book I was reading is The High Five Habit. And she mentions that we need to be able to overcome those things on our own too, right? As much as we want to help people, one thing I've learned, those people who are in the deep, darkest places, we can't help them. We can only support them.
Yes.
And it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, you know? But it's something we have to accept. Like you said, we have to accept the fact that, you know, our own journey is our own journey, and we have to make that decision in ourselves to change. But we can show a path. We can show certain directions. In the end, those people have to choose for themselves. But yeah, like this stuff with depression and anxiety, it's a really tough subject to talk about. But I do like your perspective, man. Like, you do have to reach out to others. So getting support is essential. Acceptance, and then going to self-awareness. That's all. We all need that. But it's like you said, it's done in the small things. It's not in the huge actions that make the biggest difference.
So yeah, when you're talking about reaching out to other people, like what Jasper said, you got to be careful of who you listen to, because those other people might also be in that current environment, in that current mind state as well. So you're kind of in this loop of negativity.
Yes.
So how do you find those credible people? How can people identify this person is going to help me, or this person can, you know?
Well, of course, in life, to pick your idol or who you want to become is the rule is not a rule. The criteria is they already went through, they already achieved what they want to have in their life or goals in life. So if we're gonna apply that to depression, if you wanna go through depression, you should seek advice from people who already experience it, and they already went through, and they're living a better and happier life, and they're not under depression anymore. So that's the people you ask and involve with. And you have to surround yourself with this kind of people, because law of attraction, you become of the people you involve with. So if you want to become happier and get rid of your depression, then pick the people, surround yourself with people who's in that state.
All right, man, let's get the mood up again. that was really dark and deep, man. But I think it's a good subject to talk about. You know, you talk about your why. You mentioned it. Cast a vision for us. What is Kuya Wes? What's your life in the next 5 to 10 years? What's it look like? You know, what do you visualize?
So at the moment, like working with projects, other people's projects, actually, just helping them, you know, to reach their goals, and then hopefully launch my book, publish my book, and then maybe make more money. Because unfortunately, if you really want to help others, we should. Money is a tool. You know, we actually need it. Unfortunately, in order for us to help more, we still need money. So in order for that, you just have to up your knowledge to get more money. So it's never ending process of learning, you know, to make more money, learning how to deal with people, learning with, you know, like dealing with yourself too. We don't forget about that. Yeah. 5 years from now, I'm still learning, bro. And I'm still gonna share. And because I've already answered my 2 whys, who I want to become. I just want to become a valuable servant. So I'm just going towards to that goal. And I want to do it. I want to reach that goal by quicker and quicker and quicker by learning more and more and more.
Do you aim to learn more just through books, or are you, do you seek mentorship or coaches? Is that something you aim to do, or is it just going to be purely through audiobooks?
Well, there's like ways of mentorship. There's 2 types of mentoring. One is like physical, and then one is by their works. You just follow what they do, you research about them, and then you copy it. And the advantage with the physical mentoring is the everything, but like it's more advantageous than just copying their works and stuff. At the moment, I'm happy just by listening to audiobooks. And then if I get the chance to actually meet them and be guided from them, then, it's even better, But then again, like, because we believe in God, then I just let God, direct my life as well. Because sometimes no matter how bad we want to do this and that, if it's against His will, man, even though we have this knowledge of the earth, man, or of the world, even though we have good abilities and talents and stuff, but if it's against His will, because He has this vision that we don't have, that we don't get from books, that we don't get from mentors and stuff, it's more powerful, bro. So I believe in that. Whatever comes, bro. I'm just enjoying life, bro. So no stress in terms of mentorship and stuff. Yeah, I'm just happy with listening to audiobooks. If I get to meet one, then man, all the more I'm happier.
Crazy. I feel like we can talk a lot about stuff. Just trying to think of stuff that we can really add value to people. I guess what has been the teachings that you've learned or knowledge that you've obtained that you practice daily?
Okay, so like I'll just talk about my principles in life, bro. So I have 7 principles of life. I don't practice it anymore, but it became my lifestyle. So first is care, second is knowledge, and this is by sequence. Third is mindset. Fourth is habits. Fifth is discipline.
Mm-hmm.
6 is awareness, and 7th is being reminded. So that's my principles in life, and that's what I do and share to people.
How does that look like from a day-to-day thing?
So first we start with the desire or care, because without care we will not learn. We're not interested of learning. So how are we able to get that knowledge if we don't have interest of, for example, a subject, So first is care, and then second is knowledge. Whatever you care about, you research, man. That's why you obtain the knowledge. For example, if I'm gonna apply it on a day-to-day basis, for example, just finding the right shoe or shoes like sneakers. So that's our care, to find the right pair of shoes. All right, so I'm gonna start researching about this. Okay, I found out that the leather is like this and like that. And then once you gain that knowledge about the pair of shoes, then your mindset is about that shoes too. So your mindset, okay, I need to get these shoes. So you start working and stuff. So you have the right mindset now that leads to habits. And then what are the habits to get that shoes? So you start like working, waking up early in the morning just to save up. Let's say you're just earning just a few bucks. So your habits will be like, okay, in order for me to get the shoes, I have to wake up early. I have to sleep early, wake up early, grind hours from work, then go home and save. That's my habits. And because of habits, I wanna be consistent. So I need to apply discipline. I have to do this for my computation is like in 2 weeks, I'll get the shoes. Then I have to be disciplined. Okay. Oh, Wesley, come on, let's go out because we're having fun and stuff. Oh, no, I can't because I need to sleep early, because I need to wake up early tomorrow, because I need to grind my hours to earn money so I can buy the shoes. You know what I mean? So that's your discipline there. And then your 6 is being aware. Being aware of, oh, okay, do I really need these shoes or not? Or, maybe there's another pair of shoes who's, like maybe it's better or like cheaper. Being aware, because we need that. And then that will lead to your 7th principle, which is being reminded. Then you ask yourself your whys and stuff. And then you'll be like, nah, now I'll stick to this one, because the reason why I'm getting this because of, I've already got the history of this, why they built this pair of shoes, why they put this lettering underneath the sole, and this is the one. I love these shoes. Then go back to your first principle, which is care.
Do you have any tools or habits that people can utilize for them to, in their own personal development journey?
Tools or
personal,
So personal development. The one I'm using at the moment, like I said, it's the vision board. I use that as a tool to keep my life in track. So I can break it down easier, or even envision it, to plan. So number 1 tool is vision board. And what else tool? So I use my senses. So your visuals, I always put all the lights up, because that will change your mood. If you dim the lighting, you will feel like cozy, sluggish, lazy. If you turn the light up, like daylight, you feel like energized. Even you try to close your eyes and try to sleep, you'll be like, oh no, it's too bright. So I use my senses. Second is sense of smell. I put like stuff like all these oils and stuff, and you feel good just by sniffing. Bango, like I want to do more. Yeah, like physically tired. Once you sniff that, like magical aroma, you'll be like, bango.
Yeah, man.
Then you tend to do more. So, no, I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
Serious, bro. So I use my senses, and then the sense of touch. Like I feel good when wearing like good clothes and stuff. Your environment is nice and organized. So the tools I can say is number one, vision board. Then use your senses, and third is environment. Yeah. Use your environment as your tool to keep going. Because if your environment is not set to your needs, then it will become your limitations.
Definitely, yeah. I like the environment one because I started doing that as well, making sure like the spaces that I work in is like everything I have, everything I need is within reach. I'll be like, there's no limitation. I don't have to go, where is that thing? And then you have to worry about. And also just like having the window open, having nice light and all this. Yeah. So having that environment stuff is definitely a really strong thing to have.
And then one more thing. In order for you to see your progress, your basis is your environment. If your environment is improving, it means you improving as well. If if there's no changes for this year, for example, it means your life hasn't changed for this year.
Okay. There's some tips for you guys, make sure you try them out from QOS.
Yeah.
Some hot tips, some golden nuggets right there, man. We're a teacher, man. We're a teacher, bro.
No, I'm still a student, bro. I'm just sharing knowledge.
Just humble as guys. Don't worry, guys. I'm still a student. I want a teacher, man. That's good. It's solid stuff, man. Like whenever you get a barber, make sure you hit up QUS. If you want to get a haircut, man, you want to look fresh, and you want to get a life lesson, make sure you hit him up.
That wisdom, man.
He's got that wisdom, man. He'll be dropping those nuggets on you, man.
That's it. Gold bars.
It's getting late, boys. We still got work in the morning. Should we wrap this thing up?
Let's do this.
All right, let's take this baby into landing. So, wait, before I ask the 3 questions, what are top 5 books that you think people should read?
All right. Number 1 is Learn How to Learn by Jim Quick. It's not an actual book. It's an actual course. Well, he's really smart. He wrote a book about these principles and stuff, and then you'll end up signing up for the course, which is, but it's a course. Learn How to Learn. And then maybe leadership and influence. John Maxwell, one of my idols, John Maxwell. And maybe Brendan Bouchard, To Know Your Whys, while you're doing all your passion and stuff, and to keep you going, and how to manage all of them. So that's number 3. Number 4 is, I would say, because I also see myself as entrepreneur, and I believe in property, so I will chuck Robert Kiyosaki in. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because that's my first audiobook or book that I finished. And then 5th will be Bob Proctor. I forgot his book, but Bob Proctor. Hang on, let me just Bob Proctor. It's because he has Yes, this book. I forgot the title. But once I hear the title, I will ring my bell. But just Google Bob Proctor. Like he has heaps of books. So it's about mindset and self development as well. So that's my top 5 books, and I keep on listening to it still. Even though once I finish one book, I'll get back to it after like few months, and then it's another perspective, another how will I say it?
You just pick up things that you missed previously.
Every time you hear it or listen to it or read it, it becomes like a new kind of book again.
That's how you know you're growing as well.
Yeah. It just shows that your perspective is changing each time. So it's like watching a movie. Like you've watched it ages ago, you didn't appreciate it, and then once you turn 18 or older, you'll be like, oh yeah, this is actually good.
Yeah,
you started to appreciate it. So same thing with books.
Okay,
nice,
sick. All right, let's finish this off. Let's take this baby into landing. 3 questions. Let's go. So 3 questions. We got what are you grateful for? What have you realized? And what is a question you want to ask yourself or the people listening? So
I'll answer the first question first, because that's what I remembered. I'm grateful for life. I believe that I'm a late bloomer, but there's a reason why I'm a late bloomer, and I know and understand now, and I thank God for that. And what's your second question?
What have you realized?
I have realized that I need to include people in my life. So first is life, Second is people, that I need to include people in my life. And then what's the third question?
The third question is, what is a question you want to ask yourself or the people listening?
What is the question I want to ask myself?
Yeah. What is the question you want to ask yourself or the people listening?
Oh, that's a tough one, huh? I never thought of that. Because I thought I already answered my greatest question, which is, I've already told you. Maybe because it's really hard, because like I feel like, I think that I already know the questions.
How do you really know those questions are the answers?
It's not really knowing the questions. It's not really, I don't have a specifically known answers. It's just that I already know the process of how to know and answer. You know what I mean?
Do you really know though?
The process of knowing an answer?
Because if we're always learning, does that mean we really know?
Yeah, but like once you know, it means that I mean, you can always improve, knowing knowing a process of how to know an answer. But just to answer your question, because it's really hard, bro.
Yeah, it is.
What is the question that I want to ask myself?
Or to the people that are listening.
But I reckon it'll be good. What's the question you want to ask yourself?
I'm really interested. To myself, because like if I just want to break this down. Okay, I'm gonna share you the power of breakdown. Okay. I'm trying to know the answer, my answer. So what is the question I want to ask myself? First is, I'm gonna ask myself, do I really have a question for myself? Because I feel like, I think I already know the answer of how Oh, maybe this. How will I able to gain more tools? Like more money, more resources, and more people to help me reach my goals quicker. That's my question. And to others, same. Yes, it's like a challenge. It's like a challenging question for yourself. Like challenging yourself.
That was really good, man. Perfect. I like that. Yeah. I like how you broke that down.
Yeah, I like the
I just came up with that, bro.
Yeah, you came up with that just then.
Yeah.
That's really good. Nice. Where can people find you? How can people support you?
So with my book, it's not out yet. Still in the process. I do a lot of things, which is barbering, streaming, like video games, music. Maybe just type my name on Google. And then they will able to see all my endeavors. Yeah, it will show up. Because I tried that before, yeah.
Nice. He's Google famous, guys. He's Googleable now. That's it. All right, make sure you Google Wesley Galang for your information. You know, that's WESLEY GALANG. Is that right?
That's it.
That's it. All right, man. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate you coming on. And, you know, all the best in your endeavors, man.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Jasper and Gerald. And more blessings, man, for your endeavors too, and to your visions. You know, more visions, man, means more projects. Keep on going. We're all here to love and support you guys, man, because you guys are really hardworking in terms of doing your thing, man. So just keep on grinding, man.
That's it. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate you guys spending time with us. Hope you guys take care. Always stay safe and always get up. Peace.
Peace, bro.